Hey there, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time visiting, my name's Andrea and I love the Pilates method. I have workouts and tutorials and kind of examinations of all the exercises around the Pilates studio, so do have a look around and click the red subscribe button and the bell icon to be notified when I publish a new video. Today I have a collaboration video with Lesley Logan, my Los Angeles colleague and the owner of Profitable Pilates. And today we're going to look at one of my hardest, I feel like every Pilates instructor, this exercise is, really a beast. And I'm talking about today the side kicks kneeling on the mat. And now if you're not a big fan of the side kicks, the regular side kicks, you know, this is even more advanced than the lying down side kicks. And occasionally in this series that Lesley and I are collaborating on, this is our series called The Struggle is Real. And we started out with a few exercises and we've been taking your suggestions as you've been watching the videos and making comments. And I have to laugh because the comments and the suggestions from you, the viewers, I don't know how I forgot that these exercises are my horrible, horrible struggles. Someone suggested the neck pull. I'll link that video in the box below. The neck pull, oh my God, yes, terrible. Oh, terrible exercise. I struggle with it so much, especially at the beginning. And this one too, I would say like neck pull and side kicks kneeling, kind of my kryptonite. Yes. So today I'm going to share with you some strategies that I use to better my side kicks kneeling. They're not perfect. They're not beautiful, but they feel more and more like a really, really nice hip stretch and back stretch. They're really vigorous. I don't fall over anymore. So incrementally chart your progress because they're probably getting better even if you still hate them. So let's talk about kind of like the prerequisites and what's going to help you to better them, first of all. I already mentioned it, the side kicks where you're lying down. So just for everyone to know what we're talking about, side kicks kneeling, depending on what variations you do, there's a front back, there's a bicycle in each direction, there's some circles, and then you have to do it all over again on the other side. So you can see that position is very reminiscent of, let's go this way. Actually, so let me do it this way. So that position is very reminiscent of what you do lying down. And now you've got all of this support under you that when you get to the side kicks kneeling, of course, turns into just your hand, your knee, and the front of your leg, your front of your lower leg. So there's considerably less touching the mat, so considerably more of you has to work hard to keep everything working. Another strategy I'll share with you that I find to be helpful, often when we get into the exercise at the beginning, we're sort of into it and starting, but we've not gotten everything together to use for a successful side kicks kneeling. And there's a wonderful quote from Joe Pilates. I think I'm going to paraphrase this quote. I heard it again this weekend in a workshop I attended. And that Joe would say, if you don't start your exercise correctly, it's going to be a mess in the middle of it. But to start it more properly is going to lead you to more success. That was my paraphrasing of what he actually said. So there's a wonderful way to get into the side kicks kneeling that I like very much, because now you have to use all of your lower body that's going to be doing two different things. You're going to have one leg attached to the mat and one leg in the air, but you're really trying to stabilize the lower body using the bottom and the center. And so it's nice if you can start with that and get everything all working. And then as you get into the position, you want to feel like you're balancing on that leg that the exercise is going to be on, and that you don't land without control. Because keeping the control into the beginning of the exercise, you're going to arrive with all of your stuff that you need. So I like to take my arms out to the side, and then you're just going to balance. And you're going to use your control that you've been cultivating in your Pilates training to put your hand down without a plop. And now I feel like my side is more lifted, my bottom is working, this is getting a stretch, and now I'm ready to start the exercise. And then also coming back that wasn't so good. You want to land, I shouldn't say land, you want to place your knee back next to the other one, again, with control. That was better. So now let's go for the other side. Balance, keep your lift, put the hand down with control. Take a moment maybe to stretch in that position, and then do your front back. And then when you've done all the things you're going to do, use your control to come back and finish. I really like that because especially if your bottom's kind of a stranger to you in that exercise, it's nice to arrive in the position and feel like, oh, something is working. So I encourage you to try that because you'll be surprised. I was really surprised. It's not easy to do at all, but it does make you, have to save yourself and use your center. We just can't be trusted. So the other thing I will suggest is a lot of practice. Do your mat over and over and over again. And another thing that I'm playing with is just kind of using what is touching the mat and what is touching you to give you more muscles and more security in the exercise and more stability in the exercise. So make no mistake, this is a side bending exercise. So if you can imagine, let's take a journey back to our other horrible side bending exercise, the one that sits on the short box. And I'm just going to approximate it here with the strap, just to kind of give you a visual of where my mind is going. So pretend I'm on the short box. I've got my strap tight because my legs are pressing apart. And the side bend that's done there, you're basically using your lift to lift and reach one side up and over the other side. And in this exercise, you really want to make sure that you don't just crunch that side that you're going to in order to get a bend in the opposite side. And what helps you lift is the reach of the lower body into your imaginary thing that you're standing on over here. So when you look at the side bend on the reformer, side kicks kneeling doesn't seem so bad. So you're reaching forward and you're lifting both sides to where you would be holding that pole. And this is helping you to get a nice opening in your side and also to help you stay lifted and not topple off the short box. So now imagine that same skill turned upside down and crunched a little together, and now we've got side kicks kneeling. So here's your short box part going to the imaginary foot strap. Here is your lift of the side bend. And now instead of touching a pole, you get to touch your head and the mat. But again, you don't want to crunch the side you're going to. You want to keep it lifted so that you can push into the mat to help this side lift, and you can press into your head to help the upper side lift. Oh. And I find, now I need a lot of stretch on my sides, but I find that at least it's giving me a really good stretch that feels nice and makes me happy as I do this terrible exercise. So give that a try. I'm going to do it on the other side just because it felt so nice. So I'm going to lift up and pretend my lower body, my heels are reaching under a strap and doing some other exercise. And then I'm going to keep that lift on the bottom side so I can get more lift in the top side. Ugh. And so I kind of am enjoying playing with that. It helps me feel like, this is sort of going to sound strange, but it almost makes me feel like that the upper body and half of my lower body are all of the stabilizing factors so that this other leg can do what it needs to do. So give that a try. I found it to be really helpful. At least it's stretchy and I'm having a good time. And keep a brisk pace. You don't want this exercise to last forever. And again, I would say another good strategy is just do it over and over and over again. Practice, practice, practice. There's a nice kneeling side bend, kneeling mermaid on the Wunda chair that can work on that same kind of aspect that we just talked about as a little strategy. So I encourage you to look for help on other apparatus in the studio as well. Thank you so much for watching, and if you have questions that I did not cover in this video, please let me know in a comment below. I will include Lesley's video about side kicks kneeling because we can never have too many people talk about side kicks kneeling. We need all the help we can get. Thank you so much for watching. I'm climbing steadily toward 3,000 subscribers, and please know that I couldn't do it without you. Thank you so much for watching. I love each and every one of you. Thank you so much if you see me in person and you come up and tell me that the videos have helped you. I so appreciate that. And thank you so much for your kind words and your comments and the love coming through the screen. And I will see you later. Bye! And you'll see there's a lot of people that are stiff for whatever reason. They pull the strap to put it on their foot. So that's two big springs that you're pulling with your upper body, which is not really a great thing for you to do. And so you know how to lift your bottom. This is not your first Pilates class. You're going to keep the carriage closed, put your feet